it's me, Sarah. I'm back with my second part of my tutorial. The first one was how to make super easy sweet and sour sauce, which I recommend you watching that first. It's way easy to make. It only takes probably like 10 minutes. But anyways, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make sweet and sour pork and pork chow mein, which I'm making my own noodles, and white rice to go along with the meal. And it's going to be super yummy. It's all authentic deliciousness, and yes, I cook a huge variety of different cultural foods, and it's awesome. And I hope you guys enjoy my tutorials. You guys have been such an awesome support system, and yeah, thanks for everything, you guys, and I hope you enjoy this. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. So first, for my dinner tonight, I'm going to start on the noodles. And I finally got smart, and instead of doing it on the chopping board and making a huge mess, I'm going to do it in a bowl. So I'm still going to make the hole for the eggs. And I've also been playing around with a bunch of egg recipes and stuff, and I found out that using 3 whole eggs and then just the yolk of 1 egg plus 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of olive oil makes like the perfect egg noodles. So I'll be right back while I get some things ready. Alright, so I have 3 whole eggs and then 1 extra egg yolk. I'm just going to pour this in the middle. And then I have my 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It's extra virgin olive oil. And 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm going to remove my jewelry. I got really tired of picking dough out of my jewelry. But yeah, you just want to slowly start kneading this together. And forming a dough ball. So once I get to that point, I will be back. Okay, so here is my dough ball. And I've also found that the more you knead your dough, the sturdier it will be. It won't fall apart as easy. And so since we're making chow mein noodles, we want them to be like durable and, you know, kind of chewy and yummy. So I'm going to let this sit for, well, rest for about 30 minutes. And then I'm going to knead it some more. And then it should be good at, you know, a good rolling out and making noodles by then, because you have to release the gluten in the flour, and that's what makes the noodles, you know, the texture of the noodles. If I was to make pasta out of this right here, they would be super soft, really like kind of fall apart really easy, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna let it rest for 30 minutes, knead it a little bit more, and then make my noodles. So in the meantime, I'm going to start chopping up the veggies that we're going to need for our chow mein, which I will show you what we need in a second. Okay, so what I have for my chow mein is some green onions, nice fresh giant ones, a red onion, I'm not going to use that whole thing, some baby bellas, because those are my favorite, and I have some already sliced up bell peppers from when I made my sweet and sour sauce. And then I have some bamboo shoots, and you can use water chestnuts, but I personally don't like them, and neither does anybody in my family, so I'm not going to be using water chestnuts. And I also have about 7 cloves of garlic, because I'm also going to be using the garlic for my sweet and sour pork. So I'm going to cut all these up, and I will be back when I'm done with that. So I'll be back in a minute. I forgot amongst my veggies, you also need 2 celery stalks and a carrot, which this one is very interesting, but I'm going to make it work. Alright, so I'm still working on my veggies, but I had to roll my dough out again, and now it is ready. And with my pasta maker, I have to do it in like small portions, so I'm going to make 3 separate balls and start making my pasta. And then, since I'm not ready to cook my pasta yet, because I kind of want everything cooked at the same time, which is really hard to do with Chinese food, I'm just going to make sure that I flour it really well as I make it. And then I'm going to lay it on a plate instead of in a bowl. And I'm going to stick it in a fridge covered with plastic so it doesn't dry out. So, let's get started making pasta. Alright, so since I'm making chow mein noodles, I'm going to use cornstarch instead of flour on my dough. So, oh, I hate the way cornstarch feels on my hands. Maybe my pasta making skills have gotten better since the last time. So after some serious trial and error, oops, that's in the way, I finally got the dough to start working. I had it like way too thick to fit in my pasta maker, but now it is going. Slowly but surely, but sorry. So, I am going to finish this up, and I'm going to make it thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and then I will come back when I'm doing the noodle part. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I finished my noodles. It was really hard for me to record it because I got really frustrated a couple times. So, but this is the finished product. So I'm just going to put a plate over the top to keep them from drying out. And I'm going to stick them in the fridge while I get stuff ready. So I will be back in a minute. So first things first, after you've chopped all your veggies that you need for your chow mein, you are going to start boiling 2 cups of water. If you're going to make more than 1 cup of rice, following the instructions, it's usually 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, so yeah, so on. So I'm starting this first because it's going to take the longest, and I have to show you guys my leaning tower of vegetables. Pretty hilarious. Anyways, so next I'm going to get started on getting my pork ready for my chow mein, and I will be right back to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have a pork chop because my husband misunderstood what I asked for, but this will work. It's just pork chops are more expensive than, say, a pork butt or something. So you just want to cut it in thin strips. And after you're done cutting it into thin strips, we're going to turn it sideways and kind of cut at an angle and cut them into even smaller strips. So you want your pork to be little teeny tiny strips like that. And then we are going to make a little marinade for them. So I'll be right back. So my water started boiling. I'm going to put my rice in there. And then just put the top on and reduce the heat to really, really low. Okay, back to our pork. So make sure that it's all in tiny little strips. There's a piece of fat holding these ones together. It'll come apart when I cook it. I'm going to wash my hands. So for this part, you're supposed to use sesame oil, but I do not have it. So I'm using just some EVOO. I only used maybe a teaspoon and a half. A little bit of pepper. And since I'm not using sesame oil, I want it to have a little bit of flavor. So I put a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of onion salt. And you're just going to mix this around. Sorry, here comes my whiny little dude. Hold on, baby. And I'll be right back with the next step. Alright, so I have about an 1/8 cup of cornstarch. You just want to mix this around, get all the pork nicely coated in it. Just like that. And then next, we're going to get our pan and be right back. Okay, so for this part, you want your pan on high and just add like 2 tablespoons of oil. I use canola oil. I'm going to let this get hot. Okay, now that it's hot, I'm going to put my pork in there. You just want to fry this up till it gets like golden brown. I'll be back when it's like that. Okay, so our pork has gotten nice and crispy and brown. So we're going to put it into a bowl to the side. And we're going to start working on our veggies. So turning the heat down to medium, we're going to add our garlic and our onions. So I'm going to let these cook for about 3 minutes. Okay, now that these have cooked down a bit, I'm going to add my carrots and my celery. I'm going to let those cook down a little bit until the carrots get a little tender and also the celery. Still on medium heat. I'm going to check my rice. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to turn my rice off and move it to the other side. And then I will be back to add more to our chow mein mixture. In the meantime, while making your chow mein, you can cube up your pork, which I had 5 pork chops. It doesn't matter what pork you use. Pork chops work perfectly good. You can use pork butt, pork roast, whatever kind. Just cut it into little cubes, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Okay, so to prepare your pork for doing the fried sweet and sour pork, we're going to add an egg. Just about a teaspoon and a half of onion salt or regular salt if you want. Just about a teaspoon of paprika and just a little bit of pepper. I think that's the last of my pepper. It's okay, I didn't need very much anyways. Next, you're going to just mix this around with your hands. Get everything evenly coated, especially with the egg. And then be right back. Okay, so since your carrots and celery have cooked down a bit, next we are going to be adding our bell pepper. God, I'm going to have so many dishes to wash tonight. We just want to mix those in really good. Make sure you're still on medium. If you notice your garlic starting to burn or anything, you could turn it down a little bit. So, you just want to cook that until the bell peppers start getting a little soft. And back to the pork. So, we are going to get a 1/4 cup of cornstarch and just put it in here. And evenly coat all the pork. Okay, so now that your bell peppers have cooked down, you're going to add your mushrooms. Which I know that looks like a lot of mushrooms, but mushrooms shrink down a lot. So I'm just going to leave my heat on pretty low for right now because I will show you what I have to do next. So I'm just going to let that cook and come over here. And this is the part that takes the longest. So you just take each little pork piece and you're going to fully cover it in cornstarch. No flavoring in the cornstarch or anything. Just ball up little balls of pork covered in cornstarch. So I'm going to get to doing all these balls, and I will be back. So now that all my pork is fully covered in cornstarch, I'm just going to set this to the side for now, and I'm going to finish up my veggies for my chow mein. And I don't want to add the noodles until very last, because I want them to be super fresh and suck up all the juices. So I'm going to finish this up. I turn the heat up. I'm going to add some spices. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half of ginger, just ground ginger. And some soy sauce. Probably about, I'm going to say like a quarter cup, or maybe an eighth of a cup. And then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons more of olive oil. Because when you add your noodles, it's going to soak up like all those juices and all those yummy flavors. So I'm just going to let this cook for a couple minutes, and then I'm not going to put a lid on it because I don't want it to accumulate any more juices. So I'm just going to let it cook for a couple minutes and then put it to the side until we're ready to do our noodles. But next, you can add your pork right now. And then next, I'm going to be frying my pork for my sweet and sour pork. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully this video doesn't take forever. And then, yeah, I'll be back. I almost forgot, last but definitely not least, our bamboo shoots. You want to add those last so they don't get too cooked, because I like them when they're still crunchy. So I'll just mix those in there. Then I'm going to pull this off the heat and start on my sweet and sour pork. Doesn't that look so delicious? Wait until we add the noodles. Okay, so for frying the pork, you want a good amount of oil. That was probably like a cup and a half or so. So I'm going to let that get hot, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to test out to see if my oil's hot enough by putting, nope, it's not hot enough. Okay, be back. Okay, so while I was waiting for my oil to get hot, I got to wash every dish that I used, which was pretty much every dish in my kitchen. So anyways, we just want to fry these for only 3 minutes. We're not frying them to cook them. We're frying them for 3 minutes, taking them off, letting them cool, and then we're going to put them back in. I think that's about as many as can fit in there. So get a colander ready with a plate to go under it. And then we're going to take these out at 3 minutes. Okay, so it's been 3 minutes. I'm going to take these out. And the purpose of this is when you put them back in and fry them, it makes them extra crispy. And also, when you go to add them with your sweet and sour sauce, they won't get soggy. So there is a purpose behind this. So since I don't want to be frying all night, I'm just putting in another batch, and I'm going to fry all of them for 3 minutes, and then refry all of them until they're done cooking. So I have this batch, and then probably one more batch to go. So now that you know what I'm doing, I will be back when I'm completely done frying. And near the end, and the last of my pork is frying for the second time, I'm starting to boil my water to cook my noodles. I put a tablespoon of salt in it to flavor the noodles a little bit. And once it starts getting a rolling boil, I'm going to throw my homemade noodles in there, and they should cook within 3 minutes. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, so I just wanted to add that while my my veggies for my chow mein were still hot, I added the green onions to them, which it was hot enough to cook them the way I like them. So you can see that. And then, so once our water is boiling, I'm going to throw the noodles in there, and then mix them, well, drain them, and then mix them with this, and everything will come together, and I'm on a plate, and it's going to be delicious. So I will be right back. Just wanted to show really fast that while I'm waiting for my water to boil for my noodles, I'm going to start warming up my sweet and sour sauce, because I had it in the fridge from making it earlier. So yeah, if you made yours earlier, it's time to warm it up, and I'll be back when I put the noodles in the water. Okay, so my water is officially boiling. I'm going to add my noodles. And these should only take about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. And keep in mind they are coated in cornstarch, so yeah, the water is going to be a little cloudy. Alright, I'm just going to let those cook. And I'll be right back. So I tasted my noodles and they are cooked, and so I'm going to strain them and add them to my chow mein mixture. Okay, so I was worried that all my noodles wouldn't fit in my other pan, which I was probably right. So I'm going to add my noodles into this pan with my chow mein mixture. Whoa. And I forgot to mention, when you do coat your noodles in cornstarch to keep them separated when making chow mein noodles, you have to rinse them after they're done cooking. Otherwise, they have a really, really weird, funky texture that is not good. And I just remember that. So I'm going to mix all this in, and then we're going to be like almost done. That is a giant pot of pork chow mein. But oh my god, does it smell good. Okay, I am ready to plate food, finally. So I'm excited for this part. I will be back with the plating. Okay, so everything is done. There's my little fried porkies, my pork chow mein, my sweet and sour pork, and my white rice. So I'm going to grab a plate and start plating, and then I'm glad to do a testing. So here we go. Okay, I'll just start with the rice. Oh, I wanted it to come out like a perfect ball, like they do at the restaurants. Oh, well. Oh my god, this smells so good. This is the piece of resistance. I'm definitely going to have, like, a lot of that. Okay. And then my little porks for my sweet and sour pork. Like, I'm more than that. I like doubt I'm going to eat all this. Just like when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you're like, yum, and then you eat like a quarter of the plate. Okay, and here's for my yummy homemade sweet and sour sauce. Doesn't that look like, oh my god. That looks delicious. Can you see the yumminess? Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to do a tasting and then I am done. Everybody, sorry I'm like so sweaty. It's really hot in here. So here's my food. Rice with soy sauce, homemade chow mein, and my sweet and sour pork. So I'm going to try my sweet and sour pork first. Like way better than any restaurant I've ever been to. Get some pork and mushrooms and yumminess in there. That is freaking delicious. And of course, rice with soy sauce. Oh my god. This came out so good. You guys gotta try this. Even if you don't make your own noodles. Oh my god. The sweet and sour pork alone with the sauce. I'm gonna go eat now. I don't want to eat anymore on camera. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully with editing I can make it pretty short. But thanks for watching anyways. And I love you guys. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.